It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Yo. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Bondi Blue, and I'm back for another recap. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Girl. This shit is a mess. Okay? This shit is a mess. Okay? I am sorry that I am late. It took me a minute to actually get through the episode because I could not get off of my phone arguing with people about anti-black sentiments that they don't realize are anti-black sentiments. Child, I just girl, every time it always, you know what was always so shocking when we get into these like disputes on the internet about things that people act like don't matter, but the responses to them like showcase a certain level of regressive thinking that I think is problematic within itself. But it's just interesting to watch. Every single time something like this happens, a content creator or like somebody on social media who I really like or admire, you know, you will find out that they have these very, you know what I'm saying, just random moments of conservative thought that, it's like, really? You? Oh, okay. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, especially like when it comes to women. Like women on social media that don't recognize like, the way we are policed in one way, but they kind of ignore how we're policed in other ways. Like, girl, I don't know. It's just every time something like this happens, I'm seeing somebody and then feeling like deep disappointment because like I've created some, somewhat parasocial relationship with these people. This is a fault of my own, right? Like, this is just a vulnerably honest moment. Okay. Also, I don't know why y'all feel the need to like be passive aggressive when you shading me. I think it's almost as if I guess because I come off a certain way, right? Like I know I come off as an asshole to people when I'm saying certain things. I really in general don't mean to be. Like when I'm saying certain things, I'm not meaning to come off like an asshole. But the way people respond to the shit I say and then come at me personally, but they still want to watch me. They still want to be able to enjoy watching me. So they watch me, they say something to me that is meant to make me feel bad or make me feel stupid or make them feel, make them feel smarter than me, whatever it is. But they make it personal in such a manner that I get really annoyed because I'm like, why can't you just disagree with me? Why do you have to talk to me like I'm stupid? Why do you have to bring up personal things about me in order to, I guess invalidate whatever I've said? Like, why do you have to go to those personal lengths in order to disagree with something I've said? It's always very interesting because I feel like people are telling on themselves in this way, right? Because why is it personal, right? Like you could disagree with my viewpoint. I'm going to feel like, however I'm going to feel about why you think the way you think, I'm going to still feel that way. Okay? But regardless to this agree to disagree thing that people love to throw around as if that absolves what the conversation feels like or something. But it's this need to demean me. It's this need to demean me in these moments when I feel like what I'm actually doing is advocating for us all, because you don't even realize that just mere control over people, period, conformity, period, is a fucking problem. It's normalized, but it is in fact a problem, right? And so there are a lot of times that I'm acting outside of conformity, like as a fuck you to the fact that I should have to show up in a certain way as if it means I'm not as smart and brilliant as I actually am or something, right? And so I show up in, no makeup because I'm still beautiful anyway. I show up with locks and natural hair because guess what, bitch? My hair is still healthy and moisturized and fucked. It's fuck. And fucked. Okay, I am also, yes, that's also happening. Okay. Shout out to that man. Shout out to that man. But yeah, like I I don't understand why people must come at me the way they do when even if they don't recognize it, I'm always fighting for your right to exist however you exist. While you're trying to fight for people's oppression and you don't see it as oppression because you can't back it all the way up to where the thought process even comes from, because a lot of y'all can't think about why you think the way you think. Like, apparently this is like a phenomenon that some people actually do not think about why they think the way they think. They can't investigate their thought process. They just think the way that they think, but they don't actually like investigate why they think the way they think or why they feel the way they feel. And a lot of times have not arrived yet, because to me it's a road of understanding. You've stopped at a certain point in the understanding and are refusing to drive forward because you're comfortable where you are, right? But you also are comfortable in judging other people in the process of that, when you are not even brave enough to finish the road of understanding in order to get to the point where you realize a lot of these things are fucking stupid and pointless and really just meant to punish or to make illegal, to, you know what I'm saying? But to dehumanize people in a certain respect, because you're then acting as if all the other things about them don't matter because of the one thing that you've decided is a problem. So yeah, I think about things, and y'all, we've had conversations about this Bonnie thing over and over again. We're gonna get the Real Housewives, y'all. Don't be upset with me, but it wasn't really a lot anyway, and I need to get this off my chest. We'll talk again later, I'm sure. But no, I'm just, it's not even really about the topic. It is about the way that people in my comment section are talking to me about it. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, do you think that I don't see how you're trying to like play in my face? Like, do you think I don't see it? Like, is that the thing? Like, I do feel like some of y'all get off on thinking that you're talking to me in this like passive aggressive way that I can't tell is you trying to play me and thinking I'm not picking up on it. So I had to block somebody because I just, and also like the laughing emojis. Oh my God. Like, I can't read through that. Like the laughing emojis that people put in order to act as if, look at you, you're a fool, you're dumb. That shit, like, you think I can't read through? Okay, girl. Sometime Bondi sound way too high. And I see her opinions as a fellow air sign. I understand freedom, but a bonnet is a hair protective sleepwear. The argument isn't even valid, but this is your opinion and we all have them. Love your show. So somehow, me understanding that the ways in which we characterize ourselves come from somewhere, right? So you feeling like you are classy, you feeling like you have couth, you feeling like you have decorum, you feeling like you are professional. Yeah, that comes from a thought process that was handed down to you. And if you understand the history of how Black people have been treated in this country and how Black women's hair have been policed, and I bring up all these historical things as I did in that video, you then, because you can't actually argue with my viewpoint, right? First, you say it's not valid. So there is the underlying thing. You the point here is to invalidate my opinion, right? Which is obvious to me when you started off with sometimes, hold up, what did she say? What did she say? Sometime Bondi sound way too high, which is grammatically incorrect, but I wouldn't even really go at your head on that because we're on social media. But then when you bring it back down and said the argument isn't even valid, then the whole thing just brings up you are here to invalidate my opinion and my intellect on said opinion, which is why you're bringing up the fact that I'm too high, even though I'm making perfect sense and you don't know how high I am. If I did not get up here and show y'all that I smoked, y'all would not know, because for years before I started showing it, you didn't know. But this is the way you love my show. You love my show though. Thank you for that. Right? And to me, the way people are talking to me, it's like, so do you now feel better about yourself? Because if you think that I'm one of these people that get up here to tell y'all that y'all stupid because it makes me feel better about myself, you would be gravely misunderstanding me. It does not make me feel good that some of y'all are so ignorant that y'all perpetuate harmful rhetoric on people and make people's lives harder. Like, that does not make me feel good. So when y'all talk to me the way y'all do, it sometimes makes me feel like you're wanting to make me feel stupid, and I've made you feel stupid. I don't even know you. Again, as I keep saying to y'all, because I notice y'all, a lot of y'all do this, I don't know you. I don't know you personally. I'm not personally reading your life just because I've said something that you identify with. Now you're uncomfortable. Now we have to make Bondi feel like, you know, she's a fucking bum or a weed head that's too high to speak correctly or speak in a succinct manner. At the end of the day, the way y'all argue with me sometimes, and I never take it personal, and then when you throw certain shots at me, I will ignore what you are saying to me to try to make me feel bad about myself, and I will only argue with your point. Because I am smart enough to argue with your point. And I don't have to make it about you, and I can't really make it about you a lot of the times because I don't know you. See, you know me, but I don't know you. Child, every time y'all pop up with a prejudice of some type, I feel like it's just connected to your lack of knowledge about things. Yes, they feel like it's a personal indictment. Hey, Diva. Like, I am very much like a facts over feelings person. And the funny part about it is I will have the same feelings as you, but I will still fight for people's right to not be policed because of how I feel or how you feel. Because I know in reality, it doesn't really matter. In reality, it doesn't matter. It has no real bearing on anything significant, wearing a fucking do-rag or a bonnet. It means nothing in real life, right? Because you wear them when you go to bed. It doesn't automatically mean your brain can't retain information or some shit. Doesn't mean you didn't put deodorant on that day. But that's the way a lot of y'all metabolize that shit in my comments. And the fact that you think it's not anti-black, and then as y'all get deeper into the conversation, what comes up is you're lazy, you're dirty. All of these things that have been assigned to black people as a projection from white people. And because you can't think back further than before you was born, you don't understand that your way of thinking is something that has been given to you. You live in a matrix, meaning that you live in a system that was created for you by people who are trying to oppress you. So yeah, when y'all perpetuate it as the victims of said oppression, I get really annoyed. Yeah. And this is how I know that just because we're black, that doesn't mean that we're in community with each other. Because y'all still put focus on things that I feel like at this point we should have recognized don't fucking matter. I thought once y'all got around white people and realized how white people get down, y'all would stop trying to hold black people to all of these unnecessary high-ass fucking black excellent standards. Once you realize that the people that's in charge of everything don't give a fuck about none of that and don't care to. Don't even realize where your standard coming from. Talking about my mama taught me this. Yeah, where you think your mama got that from? My mama got it from her mom. And guess what time they lived in? They lived in a time where black people were heavily policed and weren't given jobs if they didn't look a certain way. Things are absolutely passed down to you. Duh. Duh, bitch. Duh. Every time we want people to do this, it's not anti-blackness. No, but whenever it's about our hair, it is. Whenever it's about our fucking hair, it's some anti-black shit. Get the fuck out of here with that. If you can't argue with my point, stop talking to me. Don't make shit personal because y'all don't want me to make it personal about y'all. And you know I will. Read shit you don't even know I can see. Now let's get into this goddamn girl. You know I can't stand that. You know I can't stand that shit, especially once you figure out where all of that shit comes from. Honestly, even that no shirt, no shoes shit. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Why would one make a law like that? Because there are people that don't live like that, that don't live with always putting shoes and clothes on and all of that. When you think about Native people, those rules are old, y'all. They're not new. They're not things that people just came up with. They're old things that are always perpetuated for the sake of conservatism, for the sake of how a certain group of people feel like we should be showing up. When the truth of the matter is, you wear shoes nowadays because they protect your feet from the ground, but also they say they keep you from grounding because the rubber keeps your feet from soaking up the energy from the earth. And that's just some deep hotep shit. You don't have to believe that. And if people want you to wear certain shoes in the store, when I think about naked men, I don't want to be around y'all. Y'all be nasty and stinking shit. Put a shirt on. Okay, fine. I don't feel like bonnets and do-rags are having the same effect as people walking around with no shirt on, no shoes. And another thing, yes, that's insurance, right? Because protection, right? It can hurt somebody's safety if they're not wearing shoes in a certain place. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand that. What the fuck this got to do with that? Get away from me. Just get away from me. But that's it. That's all I got until we come back to that. Yep, to separate from other girl. You know I know, because you know we've read the books, girl. We've read the books. And then they don't, and I hate the way they don't realize it, because under the current circumstances, everything that's going on in this country, we are very much going back to this like civil rights era mindset. And that's why a lot of us are like, no, we're not going to do that, because it is a slippery slope. And it really just comes down to conformity and trying to keep people from being comfortable. Why do you want to keep them from being comfortable? Why? Why are you correlating comfortability to hygiene? Why? Why, black people? Why? And the thing that's aggravating is if you go talk to, certain white people, they'll be like, I think you should be able to wear whatever you want to wear in class. Did you get the lesson? Because we understand what's actually important and how making these very obsolete things a matter of contention is actually making it harder for people to have education. It's making it harder for people to just go to class and get their fucking education, bitch. Motherfuckers asking me, did you go to college? Yes, bitch. Yes. I went to 3 of them. I went to Clark Atlanta University. I went to Louisiana State University, LSU. And I went to and graduated from UNO, the University of New Orleans. And you know what I noticed? At PWIs, people just want you to go to school, don't disrupt the class, and take your ass home. That's all they want you to do. Them white people don't give a fuck if you walking around school in slippers. You live right here. That's another thing that's aggravating me about this conversation, talking about, well, they don't do it in high school. People don't live at the high school, bitch. You're not supposed to live at the high school. People live on college campuses. There are apartments there that don't have kitchens. So people have to leave the place that they sleep to go and eat at another place on campus. And every time they do that, you want them to take their bonnet off and do something with their fucking hair just so that they can get something to eat before they come back in their room and lay down. Y'all are not thinking about this practically. Why, y'all, you know how another reason why it's dumb? Because they also said they don't want them wearing bonnets or do-rags in the cafeteria. You mean the place that's around everybody's food, where the people that are passing out the food have to wear a bonnet-like net on their hair to keep hair from going in the food? That doesn't even make any sense. And yeah, I also feel like I've seen kids walking around, like say they got stuff going on at school, right? You get your hair done the day before, but you still got to go to class the next day. You don't want to mess your hair up. They go to school fully dressed, face wash, hygiene in check, but with a bonnet over their hair so they don't get their hair messed up. I don't think that's a big deal. Especially if you don't think it's a big deal when people do it for religious reasons, which I noticed that argument in my comments too. It's different when it's for religion. Why? Ask yourself why. Why is that? Why is it different based on how you think about it? Child, anytime that you offer black people, period, but especially like black young people, a soft cushion, somebody always wants to act like it's counterproductive because you're supposed to be sharpening people like a fucking knife. Woo. People shower and put fresh PJs on. Child, the way people walked around LSU or whatever the fuck they had on the last night, sometimes you didn't even know people changed their clothes. And nobody cared. As long as you ain't stink next to me, I don't give a fuck. Hey, worrying about professionalism in Trump's America. Worrying about professionalism in Trump's America. Like, a nigga could be in an expensive suit and still be shitting in a diaper. Okay, before we get into Real Housewives, I'm gonna end it right after this. I disagree. As a recruiter, these people lack professionalism, and come into an interview and Crocs the bonnet is just the first piece of laziness indicator. Okay, so are you recruiting people from colleges? Because it would make sense that there be courses on campus that would help the kids with this, because that's what was going on at Clark Atlanta University when I was in school. The business school would have them come to class one day a week in professional attire so that they knew how to dress for job interviews and all of this type of stuff. I also feel like this may be an issue. Laziness, lazy appearance, lazy attitude. That's the point. Is it? Is that the point? Because every single person that's wearing a bonnet is lazy. See, like, and that's another thing. The fact that you're even equating it to being lazy, I believe is the anti-black part. That's the part that I believe is anti-black, because you're equating wearing a bonnet and comfortable shoes to being like lazy in work, and that those two things don't always mean the same thing. Sometimes they do, but they don't always mean that. Like I said, we're talking about people going into cafeterias on a college campus. They can't wear pajamas. They can't wear, which is usually still pants in a damn shirt, but you can't wear a hair covering in a cafeteria. You think that making them not wear hair coverings and comfortable clothes in a cafeteria is going to help them care about these jobs that are dead ends? The problem is that they don't feel any need to be excited about any of this shit because they feel like it's a dead end. That's why. That's why they don't care, because it doesn't matter. That has more to do with the system that we live in and less really about these kids being lazy. If they felt like there was something to be excited about, but coming to your regular ass job to make a little bit of money and be aggravated with microaggressions all fucking day. Yeah, a lot of them have, the younger generations, they don't have the same tolerance level for this rat race shit like we do. Because what they learned is what we had to eventually figure out, was that you're going to be working your ass off every day, and it barely seems worth it. It barely seems worth it. And another thing, right, and you're talking about an interview, but this is not about interviews. So you mean to tell me one of the biggest issues we're having right now is how people are dressing to job interviews? Because simply telling them, hey, this is not the professional attire, you're not going to get the job like that, next. That's the result. If they came to the job interview like that, you're not dressed appropriately, next. You mean to tell me every single one of them is coming in there dressed like that? That just mean they don't get the job, bruh. Like, that doesn't mean we put a ban on shit on a college campus where black kids live. If white people wore bonnets to interviews, would it be more accepted? I bet you it probably would, especially if you consider the fact that it is merely a piece of cloth on your head. And when white boys wear hats in class, nobody cares. When white boys wear those beanies in class, Nobody cares, right? A beanie does the same thing a bonnet does, except it doesn't fit all of black people's hair in it sometimes because we have thicker hair. That's the reason why throwing a hat on doesn't always work, because hats don't always fit people's hair. That's why they wear the bonnets, because it fits all of their hair in it, specifically the young people that have locks. And to me, I feel like y'all policing the bonnet shit. Right after that, locks are unprofessional. Why is that? Because it's thick black people's hair. Okay, so this is another example, y'all. See, we got the laughing emoji. So we want me to feel like I'm stupid, as if, I'm saying that college is not to prepare them. I said a whole thing about business courses having that 1 day a week that you come, or the 2 days a week that you come to class in professional wear, but not making that mandatory. I said a whole bunch of things that showcases I understand the need to prepare them, but there are ways to prepare them that are not banning it from everywhere. I said all of that. The comment ignores all of that, and then it laughs at me as if I'm being ridiculous. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? All right. Well, now that I've done that. Okay, Michelle, next time you bring your man on a reality show, get him reality show ready, please. Okay? I'm not saying we should ban casting from the show or anything, but we're going to rib him. We're going to rib him a little bit, okay? And it will behoove you to get him shined up just a little bit, okay? You need the validation of us niggas on the internet. So please, shiny your husband up before you bring him to us. It don't matter how much money he got and all of that. He's still black. So we still looking at his hair being all over his head and all of that, and it's making us uncomfortable. Okay? Now, I would never ban him from the show. But I would ask that you have a conversation with him about getting his curls together when he's going to be on camera. It don't take nothing but a little bit of water and some juice. He got that real nice hair texture that's easy to manage that the folks like to have, right? You like to have that easily manageable, closer to white people texture hair that he got on top of his head. So yeah, we need to get him to just get a little bit of a moisturization. Okay. She's so triggered. No matter how much I tell y'all that I'm going to have my feelings and you can't shame me about my feelings. Oh, she's triggered. Bitch, suck my dick. You're right. You're right. This type of stuff annoys me. And if you think laughing at me is going to make me feel shame or something, you're an idiot. You're being ridiculous in my comments and you're being anti-black. I'm assessing what you're saying and you're in the comments laughing and all of that stupid shit. Now you're blocked. And I'll forget about you. But if you ever really enjoyed my content, you won't forget that you're blocked. All right. So yeah, casting, K. Michelle, Angela, and Charles do a class on intimacy and stretching and shit. Okay. Oh, hey, I missed it. Thank you, Diva, for the super chat. The Diva Erica De Niro said, the respectability politics is a form of assimilation to a standard set by white people who don't follow the standard you've assimilated to. Yes, meaning that a long time ago, white people told you what was respectable and basically threatened you with not being able to feed yourself if you did not submit to what they felt was respectable. That has been passed down to you. Okay? Meanwhile, they will do whatever they want to do, and they don't have anything that's banned. They don't have anything that's deemed so unprofessional and so much of an inside thing that it's banned on campus like that. They don't have those same problems. And it also goes back to the lack of equity because white people don't have to manage their hair in the same way, right? Equity would mean white people don't have to manage their hair in a certain way. It's not as much as it is for black people. They also haven't had all these laws to stop them from creating a culture around taking care of their hair because we kind of made laws that made them cover their hair, cut off their hair, and also be slaves so that they didn't have time to take care of their bodies or their hair in any way, right? And so now that we want everybody to have equity, right, and be on some equal footing, we're going to give allowance for the fact that they have things about their hair that are distinct to them. So we're not going to weaponize that as a way to keep them from an education because we understand that there's nuance and history behind their hair and their hair being different. And so we shouldn't police how they deal with their hair because of that fact. Y'all are not going to hear me though. Thank you. Thank you, Diva. Whenever the internet is driving me crazy, I look to you. Okay, I really do. Listen, there are only a few people that I feel safe enough with, okay, that when it's time to watch content that I'm not about to be, like this, I go to Diva. It definitely stifles self-expression. I'm somebody that even when I was in school, I never liked how dress codes were done. I always felt like they were stupid. I always felt like they meant nothing because essentially adults were still going to be able to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And that's the truth. So for instance, yeah, you may not wear a bonnet to your job, but do you wear it to leave out of your house and go to the mail? Say you want to take a walk around your neighborhood. Do you wear a bonnet in order to protect your hair? If you go to the grocery store, do you, sometimes have a bonnet on your head? Some people do, some people don't. Which shows that adults are able to go around in society wearing fucking bonnets on their head, and guess what they're still doing? Paying bills, taking care of shit, and taking care of themselves. And contributing to society. No, seriously. No, girl, seriously. Seriously, there are some days that I'm like, I can't really watch nobody else because I don't know what they're going to give. Girl, there are some days, okay? Anyway, yes, back to Real Housewives. Casting. Why you always gotta look so rough? You rich and you on a reality show, okay? Again, I'm not gonna ban you. I'm not gonna make you illegal or nothing like that. But goddamn, nigga, you could, do something for us, okay? This is TV, okay? Your face is on the Tizoob. And K. Michelle be sticking in so many different ways, from the makeup to the hair to the clothes, and I get it. You don't want to put the same pressures that you have on yourself on him. You want to allow him to be himself. And I'm like, yeah, in real life. In real life, on an everyday basis. Yes, be yourself. But when that nigga come up on this show, I need him to be a little bit more moisturized. Okay, and that's hair and skin. Okay? Please get this man together. Child, listen, girl, surgeons, doctors, dental professionals, all people wearing shit covering their hair, and ain't nobody putting all of that stigma on it. You know why? Because they're not imagining like a poor neighborhood of black people that are walking around slew-footed back and forth to the store with bonnets on their heads, right? They see that and they're like, ooh, there must be drugs and nefarious people in that neighborhood. Meanwhile, bitch got her hair done, but she laying around the house, so you don't want to have it uncovered because then it might get messed up. Oh, I got to go run to the store. I want to give me something to eat right quick. So I'm not about to do all of that. I'm just going to run to the store right quick and come back home. And, that's really all it is. But somebody who lives outside of that neighborhood or who's grown to feel a certain way or internalize those things, they're going to, add all of this unnecessary shit to it. That's what they're going to do. Listen, at the bonnet conversation, I've never been somebody that would leave my house in a bonnet, but I have locks now. So I wear other things that are meant to keep my hair sometimes from getting in the way. And I don't feel like I should be policed about that. And so I don't want other people to be policed about that either. And I think it's a slippery slope. I think it's dangerous to be highly policing black bodies in ways that white people are not being policed. I don't care about what y'all think about the decorum of young people. I really don't care. Because ultimately y'all are not being real about the fact that y'all want them to be happy about jumping on a fucking hamster wheel. Meanwhile, all of us are trying to figure out how to be happy and how to get off of it. Like, stop talking to me. They talk about Shamia. That's what we'll start this, okay? We starting this right here, okay? They talk about Shamia. Kay wants to be fair to Shamia. I feel like K Michelle was really trying to come off like a good friend, and I appreciate that, but I also feel like what I'm really feeling is everybody kind of feeling bullied in order to make sure we're telling Shamia she's wrong, make sure that Shamia knows that she's the wrong party in this situation, right? And that would be cool if that same energy were applied to the other people in the group that have consistently been doing things and lying on Shamia. I also, even every time, it's another thing. Every time we have this conversation about Angela and Shamia, and I ask, what the fuck has Shamia actually done to Angela? What has she actually done? And if you bring up that shit about laughing, I'm going to look at you like you're stupid, because you can't be friends with the person that said it and be mad at the person that laughed. Okay? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so when asked the question, what the fuck has Shamia done to Angela? I have yet to get a true answer from anybody. People online that want to argue with me and bring up everything but what the fuck Shamia has done. They start just talking, just regular talking. Oh, Shamia is this, is the worst type of woman. Based on what? Based on what? Y'all not saying nothing. Y'all not saying nothing. Okay? Angela says that Shamia is the one hurting people. The weapon is in her hand, and until she figures that out, she will be the victim in her own mind. Angela, I do believe that there's an overall plottage, and I think there's plottage based on the way Cynthia and Drew move, and Phaedra. Like, the way they move in these moments, they're always kind of playing a certain position, and I'm noticing the position that they play, right? And it's the same, which lets me know what they're doing, right? Now, and what did I say last episode? When we talked about this shit last time, I said Angela did not get vindicated, because you can't get vindicated in no shit like that. This is what critically thinking will get you, okay? The understanding that you could never really know what two people was doing, and that Shamia already got an old man with money. Why would she fuck another old man with money that's not even as attractive? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway. Yeah, whenever y'all talking about Shamia, y'all don't actually have a real issue when it comes to defending the way people have been coming for her. But now we're getting all sensitive because somebody finally says something fucked up back. Like, and that's why I'm kind of aggravated this episode, because I'm about to curse Shamia out in a second. Just hold on. But it is a overall effort to gaslight her about this situation and make her feel like what she said was just way too fucked up. And we're going to get to that conversation with K Michelle, because K Michelle pissed me off too a little bit. We're going to get to that. Hold up. But Angela saying what she said is ridiculous to me, because what has Shamia done to y'all? Y'all can't really name anything that Shamia has actually done to y'all. And now that y'all have something because of what she said to Portia, now it's like, see? And that's why a lot of the times, people like myself will always tell you to pay people dust, right? And that's because the power in stoicism is that people don't get the response that they're aiming for. And they're always aiming to make you the bad guy. And when you respond back to somebody bullshit, if the group is already set on being against you, it's only going to make you look worse whenever you defend or fight. I've just noticed that. And so for me, the thing I like to do is something I saw Shamia do, but she's not fully committed to it. The way she disengages in her face, I could tell you exactly what that feels like. Like, I could see it all over her face, the feeling of nobody understands where I'm coming from. Everybody's only mad at me. Nobody's mad at her. Why is everybody only upset with me, as if people haven't been saying hurtful, fucked up things to me as well? Why is it that they are only really upset when something is said to Portia? Why is that? And now this is somebody that I thought understood what was happening right now, this person, when she's talking to K Michelle, is telling me that this shit is, I've taken it too far. I've gone too far now. When I tell y'all, I understand that feeling. And so a lot of the times, especially if you care about the person, what you will do in that moment is take it all in. Like, take it all in. It's my fault. I fucked up. It's me. She got it. You right. I'm wrong. I'm the bad guy. That is what you will do. You will take okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the fucking bad guy. And then if you care about the relationship, what you will then do, because you want to just move past it because you feel defeated and you want to just feel better about the situation, you'll then apologize. Because what matters more to you is to retain the connection and not to be right in the situation or even to be understood in the situation. It's merely to keep the connections. And that's why you apologize over and over again. That's why you do what you think the people expect you to do, right? When she invites that bitch, I hate that she did that. I hate that she did it. But I also am noticing this contradiction in expecting people to take the high road, and then when they do, being mad at them that they took the high road. On some level, I feel like if she had not invited Portia, they would have said something about that too. They would have said that too. They would have had an issue with her not, you should have invited her. And then you should apologize to her. Like, I feel like she looked pitiful because she was defeated. And I understood it. I've been in that position before with people, like where I'm the bad guy in a situation simply because I wasn't going to let somebody handle me any type of way. And I took it to hell because I had the ability to. Everybody won't play ball when they on that elementary ass. You know what I'm saying? When I take this shit to high school and college on your fucking ass, not everybody want to be like, you're doing too much. The difference is I'm okay with being a bad guy for real, and will tell everybody fuck them and just let it be what it is. That's easier to do when you're not on a reality show and it requires you to be cool with everybody. So then you have to try to navigate how to get back cool with everybody as a part of this show while trying to figure out how to handle how they are handling you. So I'm sorry, but I just feel like I can see how this is a very difficult situation for Shamea to navigate because she's used to just being able to apologize her way out of things, taking the bigger road, ass kissing, all of that. That usually works for her. It's not working anymore. Yeah. Oh, girl. I hope she said she in therapy. I hope it helps. No, I agree she shouldn't have invited her. I agree. I hate that she did it. I want her to stand in fuck y'all. I want her to stand in fuck y'all. But a lot of people feel like she should be apologizing to Portia. And I don't understand why anybody would think that unless they really are ignoring how Portia has been treating Shamea and what she's intentionally been doing. She's intentionally been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but again, I'm going to curse Shamea out in a minute. Just hold on. But I just didn't like how Angela said that shit. And I don't like how when K Michelle talked to her, it was completely absent of, like even saying that came out of nowhere. The fuck? What she said did not come out of nowhere. It did not come out of nowhere. I don't understand this. Like, what do you mean it came out of nowhere? Have we not been watching all of these episodes, every fucking episode? Portia is replacing pictures of her and Simon with pictures of her and PJ. She said Pilar has become her entire world, as if she wasn't her entire world when she was with Simon. I think a lot of us are reading Portia correctly, and we're trying to not be, fucked up people on the internet, me personally, right? But I still feel like I'm seeing what the fuck I'm seeing, and that's just what it is, okay? Because I think it's very odd that your daughter, your only child, is just now becoming your entire world. The way she phrased that, y'all, I know people will explain that away, but I just feel like people talk the way they think. People talk the way they think. And I absolutely feel like a woman who would sit her child on the lap of a man that she's only known for less than a year, so she said. I feel like that is the type of woman that is a pick-me and is more interested in a man in a relationship than in her child or her child's safety or whatever's going on in her child's emotional wheelhouse. That doesn't matter as much. What matters is what mommy feels and what mommy got going on with whatever person that she's in love with or infatuated with at the moment. That's what that felt like to me. And especially because I feel like, so you're going to put them pictures of you and PJ up there now. And when you decide to replace Simon with somebody else, are you going to put up they pictures? No, you're going to do a family photo, right? You're going to do a family photo. It won't just be you and Simon. The fact that you had a house full of pictures with just you and that nigga as if you did not. I'm going to leave it alone. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to ignore. I'm not going to ignore the fact that Portia is showing up like a lot of other mamas that are not really, they not really tuned into their kids like that. That's how she's coming off. And I also feel like that's another part of that is why Portia even had a child in the first place. This is why I don't like when women have children out of competition or from men or because you feel like that's what makes you a woman. I hate when y'all have children for reasons other than like truly wanting to be a part of some person's development and, you know, giving them a great experience as a parent. It really hurts me how y'all have children for selfish reasons and then leave those children to deal with things kind of on their own. That's what I feel like I'm seeing when I look at PJ. There's a level of I'm in my room alone a lot. It's my opinion. Anyway, her and Lauren talk about her choosing between Mike and Sway. The shit is fake to me. I didn't realize that both of them were Country Wayne actors. Thank you for that, Diva. I had no idea about that. That makes me feel even less like, you know, these relationships are genuine or I should care about the storyline in any way. I just don't. Again, Shamia invited Portia to the Halloween party. Shamia, please stop. You have to stop doing this. You have to stop doing this. Stop ignoring how things are and what they are so that you can keep up with appearances. It is you like trying to control the situation. Let it be fucked up, Shamia. You need to be able to sit in uncomfortable emotions sometimes. Trust me, I know it's hard. It's hard for everybody to do. But in this setting, you're going to have to be able to cope in a different way because this is not going to get you anywhere. And it's only going to make people hate you more because people hate watching people. Like they really create this. We create this environment where y'all really don't want people to have any dignity, but you also don't want to watch them not have any dignity because it makes you feel terrible. And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of people can't stand Shamia is because we can't stand seeing people that don't have any dignity. It makes you feel so uncomfortable. And that is what I see in Shamia a lot of the times. Like there's a moment when she's talking about her rum bum thing, right? And she has her husband taste the rum bum and she says that, you know, it doesn't matter if he supports rum bum because I'm in the bed with Gerald, whatever the fuck, every night. And it was just like, who are you sexualizing that relationship for? Who is that for? What woman that's jealous of you fucking and being in the bed with Gerald every night was that who was that for? Girl, who is that for? And that's what I mean about like just overperformance for how things should look. It gives you're desperate to prove a point. You're desperate to prove a point, to look a certain way, and we want you to stop doing that. You don't have to overperform your relationship. You don't have to suck a nigga dick just as many times as the dollars that they spent on you. You don't have to do that. Dick sucking is way more valuable than $1. And the way she thinks is kind of like that. Like you feel, and it's because she feels she feels unworthy. She acts like somebody that feels unworthy. And I think another thing that pisses everybody off, and a lot of you women, okay, what pisses y'all off about Shamia is that she has all of these things and she still doesn't feel worthy. And it makes you feel uncomfortable. I think subconsciously, it's like, so you could have all of those things and still not feel really good about yourself. Because people a lot of the times are basing their self-esteem on what they can acquire. They're basing the life that they should be having, right? I should have a man with money and a house and a body like that, and then I would be happy. And then you see somebody that has all of that and they're still not happy. It makes you feel like they are not appreciating. They're not grateful. And we got to sit with that because that's that's a lot. That's a lot. But no, she is cringy. She is cringy and she is corny. And I really do feel like it's because she's always like, if there's this like natural mechanism to overperform in a way that she doesn't recognize comes off a certain way. Like it's a lack of self-awareness. It's a lack of self-awareness, but I do feel like it's like a subconscious thing. I don't know what the fuck Shamia's childhood was like that got her to like, doing the shit the way she does it. But it feels like something she can't even really, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels like something she can't even really control a lot of the times. The way she does these very cringy things. Like, trust me, y'all, I understand. But I also have empathy for her because I still feel like even with all of those issues, I don't like watching people be dogpiled on. I just fucking don't, especially if they haven't actually done anything harmful to anybody but themselves for real. Yeah, she done some fucked up shit, but everybody on this show has, especially everybody's favorite Portia. So at the end of the day, holding her to this standard that she's so much more fucked up than everybody else this season is just kind of odd. And I'm not going for it. I'm just not going for it. Shamia and Kay meet up. Shamia tells her the new music is a winner. Okay, I really can't wait to hear. And I think it was brilliant for her to decide to release her album as she's on this show. I think it's brilliant because I think that it will definitely get the people that may not be paying attention to be paying attention to her. And I love that for her. She's doing a listening session. That's going to be the finale episode. She says that when she's gone, she needs this moment to be like a, whew. And you could tell like she was crying. I think this was probably edited from that clip when she was talking about, the possibility of her dying because of all of the surgeries and what her child and parents have had to deal with because of her being in and out of the hospital and all of that. I think that was clipped from that moment. Shamia says that she needed a break after Scotland. She felt like she was fighting for her fucking life. I feel like she was fighting for her life as well. She couldn't even have lunch, dinner, or breakfast without somebody saying they've scanned her pussy and they know she's fucked somebody. Okay, which I hate it. Please stop it. Oh my God. Other women doing this to other women is so gross to me. Kay says that she's not seeing the fun-loving Shamia anymore. That also annoyed me because why the fuck would you see a fun-loving Shamia under these circumstances, bitch? Why would you see me being fun-loving when everything I do causes people to be hating on me? Bitch, I'm sorry. I've gotten my ass beat. I'm tired now. Like, expecting people to be all fucking perky and impervious to all of this bullshit that's going on. Bitch done been accused of fucking a basketball team, a football team, a soccer team, and a whole bunch of old ass niggas that's only getting fucked for money. Y'all done called Shamia a whore of Babylon out here. And you like, man, you're not fun loving right now, Shamia. I want the old Shamia back. And then also, K. Michelle, I think it's taking it personal that your support isn't the only support that matters to Shamia. Like, it's not going to be the only support that matters. Because it reminds me of how people would tear your ass up on the internet And then when you are hurt from it, everybody will make you feel bad about the fact that you're not only paying attention to the positive shit, as if you can. as if you like trying to be upset about shit. Like, no, bitch, I just feel how I feel. Kay hasn't been fun loving this whole season. That's why it's like, girl, this is the part that makes me feel like this is to make sure you still have some room over there by Portia, because you still want some room over there by Portia. Okay. Let's see. Yes. She says she doesn't want her failed friendship to end up being who Shamea is. And I'm like, I don't think people understand that this is a reflection of who Shamea is. This is a reflection of who Shamea is. It means it's something she needs to work on for herself. It's something she needs to evolve from. Everybody is always being tasked with something to evolve from. And most people just ignore the test. They just ignore it and decide they're not going to take the test. They're where they're where they want to be, and they don't want to evolve beyond that point. So they ignore every prompt to grow beyond that. Okay, Carol, they just be pressing cancel. Girl, opportunity to love yourself more, cancel. Opportunity to pick better friends and lovers, the people that will actually support you by getting rid of those that actually don't, girl, cancel. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like finding new friends, bitch. Cancel. Okay. Listen, God trying to get you to get some real, self-esteem about yourself as you go into your next phase of life, and you like, bitch, cancel. It's too much. I won't stay around these same fucked up ass people, girl. Cancel. I'm not moving forward. No. Okay. I feel like that's what she's being tasked with. I don't think that that's an easy thing to deal with, especially in front of everybody, because y'all act like it's not like millions of people. Bravo have so many people hating you at one time, girl. I don't know how bitch, that shit, I would be, listen, leave me alone. Okay. What's in my glass? Don't fucking worry about it, ho. Not right now. This is coffee. But I'm just saying, the way I would be on Watch What Happens Live. the way I would be on Watch What Happens Live, half drunk, indignant as a motherfucker. Listen, I would be great TV. I would be great TV, because I would be up there cursing everybody the fuck out. I'm cussing the viewers out. I'm cussing Andy out. I'm cussing the hoes on the show out. I'm gonna let me play in my face if you want to. Everybody could get it. Give me my cognac and just slide on out the camera's way. Okay, let me talk to the people. Shamea too nice to me. Okay, she too nice, sitting up there trying to be nice and shit. Bitch, don't be nice. Okay. Yeah, Kay says she not seeing fun loving Shamea anymore. She doesn't want her failed friendship to end being who she, end up being who she is. Kay says that she came out of nowhere and went low fast. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. That ignores everything that's been happening the entire time, okay? Which is all of this concerted effort to make Shamea to blame for some shit. From the plot on K. Michelle being told to her fucking all of these people. Y'all been putting shit on Shamea this whole time. Shamea just be sitting there looking sad, okay? Kay said Shamea said that Dennis, this is another moment that pissed me off about K. Michelle. The way she framed the situation with Dennis, right? Talking about, you basically said that this woman's baby daddy is sneaking her child to your house to see you and your husband. That sounds so fucked up. Yes, girl, just like the Regina, yes, like the Regina King and Jackie. Yes, girl, exactly like that. I would be exactly like Mary, bitch. Okay, exactly like that. Drunk and cursing everybody the fuck out. Okay. But yes, y'all, I didn't like that moment. I didn't like that moment the way she framed it, because I feel like they are really, I don't know, like it's the way they are trying to like demonize Shamea for these things that are kind of being taken out of context. That's not what she said. She said, at least I still, get to see Pilar because Dennis and Gerald are friends. because Dennis comes over and is friends with Gerald, so he brings his daughter to come and see me and play with my daughter. That is not the same thing as he's sneaking to drop the child off with y'all. That's not the same thing. It's not. My God, on today. It's not sneaking. That's another thing. It's not the truth, bro, because it's not sneaking. He was doing it and she is gassing it like she had a problem with it, but really it was just something that wasn't really brought to her attention. It wasn't being hidden from her. I doubt that he was hiding anything from her. The fuck? Y'all really be in here like y'all see the way all it takes is for somebody to say something in a certain way and y'all take it on the internet and y'all run with it, because nobody was framing it that way when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. But now that you've heard K. Michelle frame it in this very particular way, now that is what she said. That's not what the fuck she said. That was not even the context in which she said it when she was talking to Cynthia. She's talking about how hard it is that y'all are not cool anymore. It's hard that we're not cool anymore and we're not in each other's lives anymore. But, at least I get to see Pilar when Dennis comes over to hang out with Gerald. That is not the same thing as sneak your child over here so I can see him, even though, Portia gonna be mad about it. Girl, that's not the same thing. Yeah, again, adding all y'all fucking feelings and shit onto the situation and acting like that's the exact word somebody said. When no, that is not the way it was said to me. I don't care. Argue with your mom. Kay said, Shamia said, Dennis has been sneaking the child to see her and her husband. Do you know how mad you would be? As if Portia actually cares, girl. I guess. Again, I feel like it's just something to make Shamia look bad with. I don't think you're actually in fear that Shamia is going to do anything to your child. And I actually don't even think you actually would fucking care unless you was beefing with her. You wouldn't care. Whoever Dennis was bringing her around, you probably would not care unless it was somebody you was beefing with or somebody he was fucking, because we know how much you like to control that. Shamia explains that Portia saying her mom did something egregious on social media and they agreed not to talk about what happened. So everybody, let's rewind it to when it first started. Shamia's the one that came into the interview and said our moms used to be friends. And, my mom thought they were best friends, which insinuates that there was a problem. It does. It insinuates that there was a problem. Is that the same thing as coming out and saying your mom was a snake and she did something egregious to my mom? I think it takes it up another level. I think it raises it up a level. That's what I think. I think Shamia was here. Portia took it here. And so then when Shamia takes it to hell, now everybody gonna act like we haven't been escalating this situation and that Shamia is the only one that escalated it. Okay, girl, I guess. I wish Shamia would have said more, to be honest. I wish she would have cursed her out more. I wish she would have said more about her and her mama. I really don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't, because they've been playing them behind the scenes games. And I just kind of feel like at that point, I would just be saying anything. And anytime somebody looked at me like I said too much, I wouldn't give a fuck. Anyway, Shamia explains all that shit. Shamia says Portia was her person. Was she? Was she, Shamia? Was she your person? I feel like at some point, I do think that she felt that way and that there was something happening between the two of them that would make them feel that way. However, I feel like you said, Diva, they misrepresented the relationship off rip. Both of them reported back to us that their relationship was them being best friends when they was growing up, best friends in high school. Yeah, we might have hung with different people, but our moms were best friends. So we were always together, right? They both framed their relationship a certain way because it benefited them both. It benefited them both, right? Now we get to this point, and I think Shamia has, because of what's happened in the past, right? Because there are things where I feel like Shamia absolutely showed up for Portia. When Portia wasn't on the show for that season, right? When Portia was getting her, her ass ate up on the internet behind Simon, like Shamia has consistently showed up to support her in a way that Portia has not shown up for Shamia. Point blank fucking period. You can go back all the way to season 7, 8, 9, whatever fucking season it was, but she's never been a good friend to Shamia the way Shamia has shown up as a friend to Portia. I feel like in general, Shamia is just a better friend. Portia is just not a good friend to other people. She needs yes men. That's why most of the people in her life are either getting paid by her or they already have some familial guilt. And that's why they're attached to her. But I don't think she actually has like real friends like that, because I don't think she actually cares about other people. I think she just uses them for the benefit. I think Shamia, having whatever childhood experience she had that's directly correlated to the way her mom shows up in the world, created the personality that would be okay with all of the disrespect and humiliation in order to be close to somebody like Portia. Fun girl, good time. We grew up together. So then it adds a deeper meaning onto the situation. I do think they both misrepresented the relationship, but I also still feel like there was an imbalance that I feel like was Shamia willing to sacrifice herself in a way that she never should have. Like, you never should feel like you need to be like that in order to be friends with somebody. And if you actually had a problem with bad behavior like you should, you wouldn't be in this situation. You wouldn't be friends with somebody who does the shit that Portia does if you had a better moral compass. The fact that you still talking about Portia like she was actually a good friend to you is showing a lot of us that you're not seeing it, bitch. You're not seeing it. You know? The fact that you're like, she was my person in the confessional. This is why people keep saying that you want to be a victim so bad, because instead of being upset and realizing how fucked up she is, you would rather romanticize the relationship because it makes you look like you've been hurt way more, because look what she did to me and I really loved her. When it's like, girl, when did she actually show you that she loved you in order for you to even be doing all of this in the first place? You shouldn't have never been willing to be somebody's lapdog and play that fucking role for any other grown person, bitch. You shouldn't have never been okay with none of that shit. You shouldn't have been laughing when she said the shit about Angela. You shouldn't have been the one that sat her down with Ralph to get fucking dirt on Drew. You shouldn't have been the one to do that, Shamia, because you actually do care. That's why you shouldn't have been the one to be sitting next to your fucking weird ass non-emotional friend who ain't got no fucking feelings. But she pretends like she got feelings. So I'm gonna give you a little slack on that, because Portia will cry and switch up on a drop of a hat. But you should have peeped this shit by now, Shamia. And so this is the lesson. This is the lesson, and you're not learning it, and you pissing people off because you're not learning the lesson. And the lesson is, she wasn't never your fucking friend. She wasn't never gonna be a good friend to you. That's not what it was. But you know what? That's another heartbreak of friendships and relationships, is when you haven't even realized yet because you ain't start playing the shit back yet. But once you get, and I feel like you also need time away from people in order for this to happen. I don't know about y'all, but you ever had like a friendship or a relationship where you couldn't see what they was doing? You just knew it felt bad. And so you stopped talking to them or stopped being cool with them. And then as time goes on and you've had like space away from them, so you start to like kind of get your feelings a little bit more recalibrated. You start to think about the shit that happened when you weren't aware of it and what it truly meant. What was actually happening in that moment? Was she joking or was she trying to play me? You might have felt it, but people that like to play in your face, they rely on you not really being able to pinpoint that they playing in your fucking face. That's why it's okay to rely on your intuition sometimes about how people are coming at you, because they purposefully make it obtuse so that you can't even argue or say that they're doing something. And Portia is really good at that. Portia is really, really good at that. But yeah, man, Shamia, you still not seeing it, babe. You still not seeing it. No, I also relate to Shamia in that way. And that is the reason why I'm having, empathy for her in the way that I'm going to talk about this, because I don't feel like Shamia has ever really shown up as a bad friend. She's been like, we've just seen her be good to people. And I feel like this is really a reflection of how bad she's willing to treat herself more than anybody else, versus me being annoyed with the way Portia is always treating everybody like shit and y'all acting like that's not what's happening. Like, I'm having two different feelings going on here, but everybody can be accountable for something, and I'll divvy out blame because that's what y'all need me to do. Okay. Y'all need me to make sure we're talking about how Shamia is to blame for some of this, right? It's the truth. But I recognize that I have to also say that Shamia is a part of the fucking problem. Because if not, it's going to seem as if I'm trying to make her like an innocent victim just because I'm acknowledging what the other women are doing in the scenario. Girl. So she was not your person, girl. She said she is going to therapy. I hope she's going to a good therapist. I'm actually worried because Shamia seemed like the type of person that'll go to a therapist that got a Christian degree on their wall, and that's not what I want for nobody. I'm sorry, Christian degree holding people. I don't want y'all to be nobody's therapist because y'all's therapy framework is through the Bible and through religion. And if we're not gonna unpack that some of the themes are oppressive to women and children, then we can't be working from a book that promotes oppression of half the motherfucking half the relationship. Like, I'm sorry. And that's why I don't like when y'all do that, because a lot of times y'all just convince women to be in situations that don't serve them for the betterment of a man. That's all I see. Child, that's what I see on Married at First Sight too. I just watched the next couple of episodes, the last couple of episodes they put out, a Married at First Sight. Girl, we're gonna talk about that in the BondyBlue show. But bitch, I ain't like none of that shit neither. Okay, when I tell y'all, I feel like it is so unethical for therapists to impose misogynistic, you know what I'm saying, like things onto people, like or even because what they're doing on Married at First Sight right now, y'all, just for a quick second, is having conversations about how these women that met these niggas a week ago are not ready to be intimate with them. And I was thinking myself about how uncomfortable and anxious I would feel in my body laying in a bed next to a nigga I don't know. And why I feel like even requiring that women do something like that on a TV show as if there's not a threat of harm. Yeah, I feel really sick about it. I don't like it. Feels wrong. Feels wrong. Yeah, that's why I don't like the church people getting up there with microphones to project their mindsets about their, fucked up ass relationships onto everybody. Bitch, we struggled. I didn't scrape my knees. He didn't gave me an STD. He didn't cheated on me. But the Lord told me that in order for me to be blessed and highly favored, I needed to be dragged through the fucking mud and through rocks and then through some grass and then into some water. And then I needed to be dragged down to the fucking hospital. And then I had to get out the hospital and lie about how I got there. I had to go home and take care of some children. Bitch, I had to be dragged in order to prove that I was worthy. That I was worthy. That's what y'all be saying. That's how y'all be sounding. I don't want y'all to be therapists. And I also be looking at, like white women sometimes, I'm sorry, but like white women, y'all, if y'all are not like fully aware of like the problematic biases and phobias in misogynistic shit and how men weaponize any and everything in order to have control and dominion over a woman, if you are not in complete understanding of this, you are sometimes the most terrible therapist that you could ever fucking be, because you give women terrible advice that's based in how you've internalized misogyny, not based on actually helping them have a better, healthier relationship. That's why I can't stand a lot of these hoes. Child, before I came up here, they posted another clip, Sarah Fontenot screaming into a microphone about another woman's pussy. Listen, at this point, I think the hoe's gay. Anybody that's that upset about another woman's pussy, bitch, do you want to eat it or what? What is happening? What is happening? Y'all be talking about me being emotional. I have never in my life been so emotional over what any other woman is doing with her pussy. It has never been a moment where I have gotten my shoulders tight because a woman was doing something with her pussy. You need to ask yourself why you are that upset about what a woman is doing with her pussy. It's not yours. The only thing I could think of is, do you want to eat it? Do you want to eat it? Because what is going on? Married at First Sight, are STD, STI tests required? I wonder. They better be, the way they be trying to force them people into a fucking bed together. Yo, Lord have mercy. Shamia says, um, Shamia says, I sent Portia an invite and Portia said, girl, fuck you. You sick as fuck. Yeah, all of that shit, calling Shamia sick and all of that. That was, I was like, this is why it's so annoying because Shamia will keep trying to like be the bigger person and Portia will continue to stomp on her as if she never meant a fuck ass thing to her. That's why it's like, girl, stop doing this. Fuck her. Fuck her. The fuck? So K Michelle said that she wasn't coming to the party because she don't celebrate Halloween and she don't worship devils and all of this. I'm like, why you always jokingly perpetuating stupid shit, K Michelle? Like, cause y'all know it's people actually do equate Halloween to devil worship, which I do not understand. Cause y'all worship the devil in a whole bunch of other ways, you capitalist sluts. Drew is working with Derwin again. Child, Derwin looked like he was rehearsing in his car. I hope he okay. She needs all the work she can get to fight Ralph, right? Even though there's a part of me that feel like Portia, I mean not Portia. Drew, y'all feel like Drew really trying to fight for something? Mm. Mm. She's manifesting an EGOT. I'm not gonna play on her top like that because I feel like she definitely could get like some of them. The only one I don't think she can get is an Oscar. I think if Drew went into like theater, she can get them other ones. I don't know if she would be able to get an Oscar because I don't think her acting is organic enough. Sometimes, you know, like there's a difference between like organic, really good theater acting, like acting that is like the slightest movement to your facial expression and not always having to overperform emotions. So yeah, I feel like she could get, you know what I'm saying, a EGT card. Girl, she could get an EGT card. She could get an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Tony, right? I think she could definitely do that in theater or on a TV show, girl. Especially like, let's say Drew go join Beyond the Gates. That would be really great for her. I feel like Drew is a better like, you know, soap opera type actress because soap operas have to be like over performative because they have to get the point across. You know, it's quick shows, you got to get it across, girl. I feel like Drew is perfect for theater, not movies. Yes, because she overperforms in the setting. So I do think she would be better in theater and not an EGT. Because that's what it, girl, you get an EGT, bitch. Okay? You get an EGT. I don't, maybe a voice. Oh, okay. Good point. Good point. Especially like a cartoon voiceover. Okay, I take that back. Drew, you could get an EGOT, but not for like dramatic acting. It would have to be for like a cartoon or something like that. It would have to be voiceover work for a cartoon that's written by you know, people that's trying to get across emotion in the vocals. Then you would be able to get it. Okay, keep on. But if you think you gonna get it from just doing shit for Tubi, yeah, I don't know. Y'all know I used to act. Y'all know I went to college for theater, right? I don't know if y'all know that. I switched over to production in film and television, but I went to Clark Atlanta University to be in theater. I went to LSU to be in theater, but racism. Yeah. Because I feel like environmental racism gave my dad cancer, which made me have to come back home. And then LSU only allowing for really one black girl and one black dude to be primary in most of their plays when I was there. That was also a level of racism. Yeah. Yeah, girl. You know, sometimes I gotta be reminding people about my life a little bit because they talk and I be like, bitch, you do not know me. You do not know me. Anyway, Drew doesn't know how to go deeper than a certain surface level. For Disney, yes. I don't know why, like when I see Drew, I instantly think of like, you know, that Disney Raven Simone, Cheetah Girls era. You know what I'm saying? That's what she gives. Hey, fajita, yeah. Fresh new thing is here, and we know we're never gonna go. Cleopatra, yeah. Like she okay, listen, it gives a good over performance tea. Time and a place, bitch. Time and a place. Portia bought her mama a new house with no mortgage. Okay, y'all, I love this, right? I love this. And this is when like I'm really truly digging into I really don't give a fuck. Like I really don't give a fuck. And this opinion is about to show that to y'all. Cause y'all gonna feel, oh yeah, hey Portia, girl, I don't give a fuck. Portia bought her mom a much smaller house, which makes me feel like, yeah, you sold that house for $1 million and then you bought your mama like a little $300,000 house and paid it out outright, which is great, right? It is a good thing by itself. But the way you trying to frame it, like you ain't get your mama kicked out of where she was just living and girl, you kicked her out. That was the least you could do is put your mama up somewhere else after you kicked her out. The fuck? The least you could do is buy Diane a little $300,000 house she ain't gotta pay no mortgage on so she could lay around and eat her wings. Having niggas come down to the house and sit on the sofa with her and watch TV and eat wings and shit. Okay? Now, yeah, it's still a good thing to do for your mom. Like, don't get me wrong, but the way they posted it on social media, like, look what black women are doing. They was like, what Portia has done with the black people have been trying to do, securing their families, generational wealth, making sure that we're taking care of our elderly. Girl. That's the least you could do. Because in essence, y'all, that lady is doing a lot to keep Simon's house because she can't, I don't think she can, this is my opinion. I don't think she can actually afford to keep that house because that house is so expensive. But she cares more about like having this look than anything. Right? And that's made, obvious to me by the fact that she even bought a house that big in the first place. The first house that she got in Duluth, everybody felt like, why would you buy that big ass house all the way out there? Because it's an image in her head that she's trying to fulfill. That's why. And she's assigning that image to her own, like, self-worth, which is why she's willing to kind of like put herself in not so smart situations in order to keep that house. Okay. So, because the easiest thing to do would have been to not even do all of that, right? Like, nigga, whatever. Be done with that nigga. Be done with that house and all of that because you can't afford it. And to go back to your other house, right? Maybe sell that house, get you a condo or something closer to the city, and then put your mom in maybe another condo in the same building that's closer to the city. Or, like you did, put her in a cheaper house that you could buy outright. What she's doing is you took the equity so that you could buy your mama a $300,000 house outright. Yeah, that's smart. But also so that you could pay for the upkeep of that other house, right? That even after you run through whatever extra money that you got out of selling the first house, once you run through that money, you got your other money and all of that. But we know how the entertainment industry is. Like you are paying for a lot of shit, first of all, to even be on that reality show because you have to look a certain way. But then on top of that, you don't know if you're going to be back next season or the season after that or the season after that, right? So you have to be thinking ahead. And I think that, I don't know if this was exactly, the smartest thing to do, but she's framing it that way. But I think you're really just doing all of that so that you can keep Simon's house. And I feel like the reason why you want to keep Simon's house is, it's kind of like a bullshit reason when you can go get you a smaller, still very nice, upscale, modern home that's not as big. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or like I said, a condo, which would be even better for you because you wouldn't have to pay for upkeep. I mean, I'm just talking, y'all, right? Because Portia can do whatever the fuck she want to do, right? But it to me, the whole reason you're doing it was not so that you could really like put your mama up. It was so you could be able to afford to keep Simon's house. And I feel like there's no real virtue in that. And they're assigning virtue to this situation. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And then that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Yes, Bondi, that's correct. She got 1 million in equity to pay the bills at Simon's home. It was nice to buy her mama home, but I would let Simon House go. And so you understand what I'm saying. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's not just me, girl. But whatever she want to do, girl. Again, opinion. Portia is going to do whatever she wants to do. My opinion is just to get off how I thought and what I felt about it. Not so that Portia can change what she's doing. Apparently, you have to explain this shit to people, because anytime they say something that they don't agree with about somebody they really like, now all of a sudden you hating and trying to stop somebody from shining or some shit like that. Bitch, shine as bright as you want to, okay? Like, I follow the bitch. Like, I'm not that upset about it. Just, doesn't seem like it's for the reasons everybody's pretending it's for. Shamia is having her party. Okay, that lady is there from the rum company. I was confused. Did y'all understand what was going on in that moment? They're saying that they separating the business. I was very confused about that. Like, are they separating their business, or was something in the contract that they felt like this is too much? Because the lawyer, Shamia's lawyer, said that basically they don't want to do a partnership with you in a way that you would be getting money on the back end. They kind of want her to be an ambassador. And I feel like the reason why is because they've probably done some research and seen how a lot of bigger companies will have similar deals with people, and it'll only be an ambassadorship of some sort. It won't actually be like, a tangible part of the business. So I'm not sure what the specifics were, but I was just kind of confused about whatever was happening with that. But whatever. The bum rum just may not be the thing. Okay, it may not be the thing. We might just have to go back to the drawing board. The funny part about it is, rich people that's not on reality shows are able to start stupid businesses and fail and start over and do it again until they get it right all the time. Okay, so I'm not gonna dig too hard on this. Also, when K Michelle was, the joke that she made about she said, I'm gonna come and support Shamia to be the head of household of a house that's already paid for, or the what she said, the breadwinner. She said the breadwinner of a house that's already paid for. She says very funny shit, but it's always so conservative. That's what it is. It's conservative. Okay? And conservatism makes my ass itch. Okay? Let's see what else was going on. So the butt molds, terrible. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of having fun trying to figure out whose ass was which. And I was kind of annoyed that was interrupted. I wanted us to know whose ass was which ass. I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I had been drinking, and I was like, whose ass is that? And then the way Drew and Kelly were going back and forth, I was just like, I think Drew is giving way too much to her ass right now. Calm down, bitch. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. I wanted to know. I had been drinking. I thought it was funny. I wanted to know whose ass was which. But I also feel like, it's just not a big deal. It's a fucking party, bro. But anyway, we'll get back into that portion of the show later. Portia and Kay and their men go bowling. Y'all, I went bowling yesterday. It was so fun. Because I actually end up being good at bowling sometimes. It's a sometimey thing. Sometimes you just be guttering one after another. And sometimes you be hitting them fucking strikes one after another. I had a good time. Okay? Shout out to that man. Yeah, okay. So K Michelle asked Portia, why did she respond to Shamia like that? And Portia is like, so she showed you our text again? Oh, girl, I love a straw man argument. Straw man arguments are so amazing. Like, oh my God. So a straw man argument is when you become hyper focus in on a portion of what someone said out of the context of the entire thing that they said in order to distract from the actual point, right? And the straw manning was going on all over this episode, but this was definitely a straw man moment, because it's not about her showing the text. It's about what you said in the text and why you responded in the way that you did. K Michelle asked her that, like she felt like the way Portia responded was kind of a bit much. That's what it felt like to me. That lady was nice. She invited you. Why would you respond to her like that? Because a simple, nah, I'm straight, or no, thank you, or Shamia, girl, no. There are so many ways that you could have said no that didn't have to land the way that you're sick. Why is she calling her sick? And that's another thing. When people do shit like that, y'all, I look at them crazy. Cause I'm like, why your mind always going to a certain place with shit that it's not in? She's sick. You right. The sickest motherfucker I ever seen, because she liked being your friend. The sickest motherfucker I ever seen, okay? You right. A sick bitch would get on somebody's lap and want to be their lap dog. A sick bitch would want to continue to be friends with somebody that is okay with making them look like the whore of Babylon on national television. You motherfucking right, bitch. You are absolutely right, Portia. That's a sick bitch, because she really cares more about how you think of her than she does her own self, girl. You right. That's some sick shit. Anyway, Portia said, fuck that, it's World War III. Sure. It's been that. You just wanted an excuse to be able to actually say it now. K Michelle asking Caston, does he see the new love between Mike and Portia? K Michelle, do us a favor. Don't be trying to compare yourself to other people's relationships that are country Wayne skits. Do us a favor. Don't put Caston through that, okay? You know you and Caston got something that's actually real. I don't think that y'all actually want to be together or nothing like that for real. Like y'all do, but y'all don't. But I think it's based on different shit. It's based on y'all being really good friends. It's based on you feeling comfortable with him. And, and him having an attachment to, powerful women that could be slightly problematic, but it's a good time. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck is going on, don't come on here comparing Caston, your very real partner that's been in your life since you was a kid. Don't be comparing him to no motherfucking actor that Portia done brought up here to the bowling alley. Okay? Then Mike started talking about he in love with Portia, and Portia was like, I mean, I guess we should talk about that in private, but yeah, I like him a lot. You guys give us a second. I don't like that he did that. What was that? I'm usually the one rushing into the relationship, not the man. Why would he do that? We didn't talk about that in the script. And the reason why she's actually really bothered by this is because rejecting men on camera can be very sketchy for a woman. Especially in reality TV. In reality TV world, like I think women that do reality TV understand that rejecting men is a way to have people hating you, on the internet sometimes. So you got to be careful about the way you move with situations, right? Because if he say he all in love with you and then you like, oh, I'm choosing a woman over you. Do you know how many homophobic people? Like I could just see people, I could see her thinking to herself, you might be getting me into some shit by positioning this relationship like it's more than what it is so that I'll look like the bad guy. Okay? Which is kind of similar to the shit that Shamia is doing, making a relationship seem like it's more than what it actually was so that she could make Portia look even worse than she already is. But I just kind of feel like at this point, Portia's barometer for what it's okay for her to do is in hell. So I really don't give a fuck about nothing that Shamia, is doing when it comes to Portia, because I feel like Portia had a head start. Portia has had a sneaky, passive-aggressive head start fucking with Shamia. Okay? So I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. But yeah, ain't nobody in love with him, and she about to choose that lady over him because it's probably a more realistic attraction, right? Yes, Mike is attractive, but y'all, once men start talking and the way they move and stuff, all that shit is sometimes it's not attractive. Like it's not as alluring. As somebody that, likes masculine men and masculine women, I can tell you a masculine woman is probably impressive in a number of ways because they always know they have to be competing with niggas, right? They may not act like they're competing with niggas, but in their stewardship, coming into masculinity, masculinity as a person, is knowing that I'm not going to be like these bummy ass niggas. That's how I think it's framed. I'm going to have an education. I'm going to have a good job. I'm going to treat your kids and your baby mama better than you. I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to be more of a stabilizing force in their lives. I'm going to make sure they do their homework. I'm going to make sure that they know right from wrong. Like, this is the type of shit that I feel like masculine presenting women will have in their minds coming into a lot of the relationships that they have with women. Okay? So for me, off rip, a masculine presenting woman like Sway is going to be putting in about 50% more effort into a relationship than a nigga like Mike that is used to women fawning over him because he's attractive. Like, he need to go be with a straight pick me, not a bisexual one, right? Like, you know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Kay and Caston surprised Shamia at the Halloween party, which I really did appreciate. I'm not gonna lie, because I felt like her saying that she wasn't gonna show up because her religion was stupid. Girl, you've done worse shit than go to a Halloween party. Give me a break. But yeah, he said that y'all needed to support her, especially with everything that's going on, which tells me that somebody is there, like, telling her, y'all, you know that they treating that girl wrong, huh? Like, this is, I feel like Caston saying that is also acknowledging that people know that Shamia is being kind of dogpiled on this season, and everybody gets their season for this shit. They do, because it was Angela's season last season, low key. Let me see. Shamia apologizes for making the women feel uncomfortable. And I understand that we all want her to stop apologizing, but she spent the whole episode with them kind of reprimanding her about it. And I'm not apologizing to Portia because fuck her. But I will apologize to y'all because I don't want to lose my relationship with y'all, which I'm kind of already losing. So I'm trying to kind of grasp that back because I need these relationships to be on this fucking show. And I want to be on this fucking show. Okay? Also, I'm a people pleaser. And I don't like being disliked by large groups of people. Makes me feel like shit about myself. So if I can apologize and offer y'all a party to have a good time, I would really hope that y'all will be able to let this shit go. But because she continues to apologize when she shouldn't, because everybody wants her to have a I don't give a fuck attitude, her apologies only, you know, like Drew said, they don't land. But this is the moment where I realize why, like, it's not I realize. It's another moment that cements me feeling how I feel about Cynthia and Drew and why I don't give a fuck what nobody else is talking about as it pertains to this. Cynthia saying, well, clearly, because Shamia explained that she did invite Portia to this Halloween party and she said, fuck off. Cynthia, who comes off like somebody who knows exactly what the fuck the text message said, says, well, clearly her response meets the situation, as if that needed to be said. As if that needed to be said. That did not need to be said, but you felt like it needed to be said. Cynthia, why? Why do you feel like you needed to add that thing to this conversation? Shamia is already feeling bad and apologizing. Why are you still digging it in even deeper? And then Drew went on to say, go look up Country Wayne. He's a comedian that does skits on the internet. He has like 1 million followers and stuff like that. He does very, very well over there on Facebook, doing like very problematic, you know, skits that's supposed to rage bait black people. Okay, rage bait black people skits. That's what they be. Okay, and they all do it under Country Wayne's platform. Where was I? Okay, Shamia says that she invited her. Oh yeah, Cynthia says clearly her response meets the situation. Cynthia feeling the need to add that it felt like you were making it even worse. Like you want Shamia to feel even worse about the situation, as if it already isn't weighing on her, which is why she continues to apologize. Drew says that was a whole new low, which again, now we're adding even more on top of she just apologized. Now we're making it, you know what I'm saying? We're adding on to it. She said sorry. You don't want her to apologize, but we want to drive it home how fucked up she's being. That's why I said, like, I you know, she's damned if she do, damned if she don't. Because you're acting like you don't want her to grovel and apologize, but You actually do, based on how you refuse to let up with the needing to punish her and let her know that she's wrong, as if she has not already acknowledged that. Girl, I love the fact that Kelly said, but it was crickets when Angela was saying that Shamia was sleeping with this lady's husband. And this is when we deflect from the fact that Kelly was 100% right and y'all didn't feel all of this shit, about things being too low and all of that when they were doing it to Shamia. Now we take it, and now we're talking to Ashley, and then eventually Ashley's husband comes in, and Angela comes in, and the way Angela strawman the fuck out the situation, I knew Angela was doing this because Angela did it when they were at the house. When they were back at the house and they were in the room and Portia and Phaedra was in the room with her and she was on the phone with Ashley, she created the new lie in order to get herself out of being a liar in that moment when she said, oh, Shamia told you that I said that you told me this? Oh, she's lying. Girl. First of all, you insinuated that Ashley gave you that information because it all started with you going to Ashley for information. Right? So you're playing on everybody's intelligence by acting like this whole conversation is not predicated on the fact that you did go to her asking for information on Shamia. So for you to now act like she's lying. I never said that information came from you. Girl, what? The whole conversation started because you contacted this lady to ask her for dirt on Shamia. But no, she didn't say that to you. None of us actually think that Ashley told you that because when you were on the phone with her, Ashley said, I never said that to you. It doesn't matter how Shamia is understanding the semantics of what was said and who said what and all of this stupid shit. That's irrelevant. Shamia doesn't believe that Ashley told Angela this. That's why Ashley's sitting there at the party with her husband as a friend of right now. Because she doesn't believe that Ashley told Angela anything. She believes that Angela made something up because she couldn't find anything. That's what the actual issue is. You lied because you couldn't find any dirt on Shamia. You lied. And you don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you lied. So now we're going to argue and straw man about an argument that nobody's even really having, which is Ashley said it to you. Nobody's even having that argument. And then you say out of your mouth, Shamia lied to you. No, babe. No. Absolutely the fuck not. That's not going to fly. I don't know what dumb bitch was supposed to be listening to what Angela was saying and feeling like that shit made sense. Or was steeped in any truth whatsoever. I don't know what dumbass bitch was supposed to hear that shit and believe it. I don't know who, but it wasn't going to be me. Okay? Then the man with the beard comes in, okay? And he says, I did not say that. She said, so you didn't say that Shamia was so fine that you had to pay her? This is probably something that we all know because he said it on a mic in a room full of people. The only thing that shows us is that this man with money has a lack of couth. Like a lot of men who feel like it's okay to make sexual innuendo and sexual kind of, jokes with sexual connotation with women when it comes to their bodies and how good they look. It's low-key sexual harassment that he did it, but he's drunk and it was in a setting where they're going to let it fly. But for you to take it and then make it mean that Shamia was fucking that man, that is where I start to feel like this is about whatever Angela is not dealing with at her house. That's the moment when I'm like, Angela, what's going on with you and Charles? Because you're fighting really hard to make this thing with Shamia a real thing. And it really gives desperation on another level, which is why I feel like it must be coming from something personal or something that you're hiding. Because but that's how people do on reality shows. They don't want to deal with what's going on in their personal life. So they create stupid arguments with the other women on the show. And because they have fans, if they say it, if they yell ouch, y'all believe them, y'all run with it. Now a person got to deal with 1 million people talking shit to them on Twitter every fucking Sunday because they just don't want to talk about their personal life, so they making a fight with you. That's literally what will be going on. Okay? Angela's doing the same thing. And I almost feel like, did Portia give you this advice? Because I almost feel like somebody must have took you to the side and been like, you know what, Angela? Last season was really hard for you. I get that. But you know what you should do this season? This season, just make fights with the other women. And that way, nobody will really focus on what's going on with you and Charles. Just make more arguments with the other women, and people will just be focused on you arguing with the other women. You'll get in your one-liners. They'll have some memorable moments that we can put into, highlight reel. It'll be great. You know what I'm saying? And in that way, people won't really be asking questions about you and Charles. You'll have him come in here or there. You know, he doesn't have to say much. It'll be a quick little scene, right? And you don't have to talk about your personal life. Just make it about somebody else. It feels like somebody told Angela that was a way of working on a reality show when you don't want to actually be vulnerable about your own shit, is to continue to pick at other people. And that's why I feel like this was all done in like a concerted effort, but it was also what was most advantageous to them individually, right? It wasn't just for Portia's validation, because a lot of them don't truly like her, but it's about how the show was going to go and what was most advantageous to them, right? It would have been smarter and more realistic for Angela to have this type of energy for Portia, seeing as though Portia was the one that threatened to fuck your husband last season. It would behoove you to have been going at her this season, but you know the social power that she comes with, and you got your ass whipped last season. So it's safer for you to go at Shamia. Shamia is a safer target at the end of the day, as far as Angela is concerned. And that's how I feel about it, because at the end of the day, girl, you got called out in a fucking lie. You tried to make it about the semantics of the language. And because this man made a joke on a mic about having to give Shamia fine ass some money, you turn that into them having a sexual relationship. And then when the wife says that no sexual relationship happened, you then say, oh, well, it happened before you. You just came around. Bitch, you don't know them people like that. How the fuck would you know? Why would you know more about what that man did or did not do? Why would you know more than his wife do? Do you know that man like that? Because then I would have to ask, what type of relationship do you have with George that you know George was fucking with Shamia years ago before he got with his current wife? You were just moving the goalposts so that you would not be a liar. You were just moving the goalposts so you wouldn't have to be the person that's actually wrong in the situation. The one with a knife in their hand, as you said. Because of this, Cynthia, once again, y'all, Cynthia knows what she's here to do. Cynthia is here to push a certain narrative, as I've been saying this whole fucking season. So it was just a joke. Angela didn't lie. It was just a joke, because we're all too stupid to understand that she knew it was a joke and used it as a way to make it seem as if Shamia fucked somebody she didn't fuck. We're going to act like we don't understand that because we're stupid or something, right? No, she didn't understand it was a joke. She didn't understand that everybody was just laughing and he was drunk. And she, automatically, because he said that, which is not a declaration of having sex with somebody. It's a declaration of being attracted to them. You then work that into Shamia fucking this man for money. You made that lady a prostitute because of a joke a drunk ass man told. And Cynthia is sitting here saying, see, she didn't lie. It was just a joke. And she just didn't understand that it was a joke. Cynthia, shut the fuck up. I've known that you were doing extra work on Angela's behalf since you got mad about Shamia calling that bitch Bigfoot. Shamia said back then, she said, I cheated on my husband. You didn't care about that. But you were genuinely upset about a bitch saying somebody's feet big. Bitch, your feet are big. You hoes are tall. I do appreciate K. Michelle. Okay? Because Drew says Angela is vindicated. And Kay says, the delusions, the delusions of Drew, okay? She is not vindicated. I am very happy that K Michelle is there to do that, okay? Because watching reality shows where everybody knows that something is bullshit, but they're talking to us as if it's not bullshit is really annoying. Like, it's really, really annoying. And producers know that. Okay. Anyway, as I told y'all last episode, the bitch was not vindicated, and y'all sound dumb. She's not vindicated. The rum bum competition, the shit looked weird. The butt molds weren't that great, but I wanted to know whose ass was whose. Jarvis was there for Kelly. He had a head covering on the whole time because he did not want to be, known on camera. I'm not mad at him about it for a couple of reasons. First of all, as soon as y'all see a nigga with somebody, here come all of the hoes that he used to fuck with that, you with a bitch on Bravo. So I want to make sure everybody know I fucked him first. Nobody cares, bitch. Okay. That. Number two, the ex-husband gonna know who to, direct his ire at, because we already know you're gonna be mad that she fucking with somebody that's more attractive, because there's nothing that a smart, ugly, fat nigga hates more than a fine ass fuck nigga with money and good dickmanship. You know what I mean? A nigga that, cause I feel like men know when other men, look like they can fuck. And nerdy type dudes that haven't figured out a way to really like themselves always compare themselves to the Tyrones that they feel like are like the player types, and then they try to like guilt and be mad at women because you want to be with a Tyrone and a player type. Yeah, because they look good, they smell good, they know how to talk to me, and they know how to fuck. So at least if I'm gonna be getting disrespected, let me have a good time while I'm doing it, fuck ass nigga. But that's just me, thinking about what I think her husband might think if he saw how that man look. Cause I saw how that man look, and I'm like, yeah, that nigga look like he got his shit together. And I'm talking about, he look like he probably got a little money, little mouthpiece, probably got a nice face. Look, his body look nice. I was like, yeah, he probably wearing that shit out. Okay. Kelly is scamming too. Damn. You think so? Why you think she's scamming? He should have stayed home then. Why? Why should he have stayed home? Why? Why he couldn't come outside just because you couldn't see his face? The fuck? That's odd. In real life, you sound crazy. So my nigga can't come to the party and rub on my booty while I dance because you can't see his face? No. Thank you. Kelly is a scammer. I'm not sure why y'all are calling Kelly a scammer. I don't know what's happened on the show for y'all to call her that, or on the blog. So I'm not sure. But not paying credit card people doesn't mean that you're a scammer. Not paying back loans doesn't mean you're a scammer. Okay? It means you're going through a divorce and have money issues. See, y'all selfish. Y'all real selfish. Y'all have real weird expectations. Like, exactly. It was a Halloween and a costume party. The fuck? It wasn't even just no regular party. It was a costume party. Like, why you want to see what he look like? That's another reason. It's giving Portia. I want to know what he look like because I want to fuck him. Y'all are some hoes. Okay, let that man be covered and have his anonymity while being there to support Kelly. Okay, let her have that. And unless y'all can provide some fucking proof that somebody is a scammer, stop saying shit like that in people's comments, because that's weird. Stupid people pick up lies or in things that haven't been proven and start saying them like they true. And I don't like that type of shit. Be clear. Okay? Be clear. All right. Anyway, I listen, I know y'all feel like, the husband should have came and interrupted the shit so we can go walk outside and Drew can get that dude, that stud looking dude, Terry. So bring her a horse dressed like Jay-Z, and then she acted, oh my God. Oh my God. A horse? Oh my God. Why you do this like that? Oh my God. When I tell you, I wouldn't believe that Drew's ass itched if she scratched it. Do you hear me? Girl, I would not believe a fart coming out of Drew's ass. Somebody else must have done it. Girl, I don't believe nothing that be going on. The lady be acting too much. Oh my God. Oh my God, not me calling y'all. he do kind of look like, I told y'all, niggas be looking a little pretty. They look like studs. If they a little pretty, they look like a stud. Okay, that's just how my mind works. Everybody will be okay. All right. I didn't say they was one. I said they looked like one. Terry took that horse back to the owner after the scene ended. We all know it. When K. Michelle said you rented the horse out and now you acting surprised, produce better. Like, she keep acting like she don't want that man. But did y'all hear what she said? Like, she's like, hold on, let me do it. Okay, so I met this man named Terry at the party. Then Walter, convinced me to go on a date with him. He was a no-show. And now he's showing up here at Shamia's house with a horse. Like, oh my God, I am going to kill Walter. Okay. First of all, you knew that nigga before that party. I think we all know that. Second of all, if you listen to what Walter was saying when they were doing the little flashback scene, he said that he left. He called me after he left. And then we see Drew walking in. That feels like production is trying to tell me that she was late and he left because she was late. But instead of being honest and saying I was late and he left, she says he was a no-show, implying that man just simply didn't give a fuck versus you being late like you always are. Did y'all peep that? I was just like, girl, did you think the production wasn't going to play what happened for us? Like, y'all, Drew is so full of shit. I hate the way that scene ended. I don't care what nobody say neither. I feel like when Shamia was like, don't bring no horse to nobody's house. Now I got horse shit on my lawn. Who's going to clean up the horse shit off of my lawn? What the fuck? And then I thought about that and I was like, yeah, who is going to clean up the horse shit off them people's property, Drew? You don't bring no horse to nobody's house, bitch. What's wrong with you? She ain't got no house training. Girl, just no home training. No couth. No self-awareness. Oh, another example that she has no self-awareness because she don't know how crazy she look in this confessional. Girl, this the confessional that everybody be talking about. We be trying to understand why she looking like that. And I think sometimes when people makeup be crazy, it's a reflection that they not all right in the head, y'all. This is the confessional where she has this bronzer, like the bronze. I don't know what's going on with the bronzer. It's too much. It's way too much bronzer up on that nose. Like, why are you trying to do all of this to your face? I don't know what's going on. Girl, I guess we're going to get into some stuff before I get out of here. Hold up. I'm trying to decide I'm coming back today for a BondyBlue show. I think I'm going to just wait till tomorrow. I'll curse y'all out about that stuff tomorrow, okay? Because I need to go take a walk or work out or something. I need to work out. Y'all, I went walking and did lower body. The back of my legs have been hurting me. Do you hear me? Oh my God, my quads are so sore. I gotta take some Bayer or something. That's how you know you're old when you gotta start taking Bayer. Like, oh my God. I don't know how I did the things I did. Okay, let's get into it.
Were you gagged when Shamia brought up the mothers? Well, that's your first time hearing that.
I was gagged about that.
You've never heard that?
She never told me about that. She never told me about the mothers. She never told me. I was, you see in the midst, I was like, and all I could think about was, let me get her out of here. Because I see that this is about to, now, of course she said, it's things that I never want to bring up. Of course she's going to say that. It's things I never want to bring up. It's things I never want to go down. She's always going to say that. But in regards to specifics, she's never told me anything.
Do you think she was
Ever.
wrong for that?
I think the setting was wrong. But I also think that, let me say this. Was the setting wrong? Yes. But I knew that it was a boiling point. And I think that a lot of people, well, they didn't see it because it wasn't shown, right? I think it was a lot of things that Shamia was under attack about. And I think it was a boiling point to her spilling that information, right? Because if you look back on it, Portia said, I knew you were going to say that. Well, how did you know you want to say that? Because did you poke her enough to say it? And that's what made me think like, oh, so they basically wanted to poke her enough for her to say what she supposedly heard that she was going to say. That's the part that I didn't like.
You believe, and you can stop me if I'm
I completely agree with Kelly. That is exactly how I see it. I feel like everything was poking at Shamia in order to get Shamia to have some big, like, you know, expression that would come up cringe, that may not land appropriately, and it would make her look bad, but it will also give Portia the license to treat her as badly as she's been wanting to treat her, but only been kind of doing it passive aggressively. Now she won't have to leave out the scene. Now she won't have to just sit there and get quiet because Shamia gave her the reason by talking about Diane and framing it as if she was talking about Pilar. Like, now she's giving you a reason. So now when you attack her, it'll seem like it's warranted.
wrong. Do you believe Drew Sidora, Angela Oakley, and am I missing anybody else? Phaedra?
I don't think she wanted to be in it.
Pinky?
She's neutral.
K. Michelle?
She didn't want to be in it either.
Cynthia Bailey?
What do you think?
Well,
What would you do for your employers?
I like Kelly. I'm sorry. I love it. I love it.
they treat Portia like she's the boss?
You said she was the line leader.
I didn't say line leader. I said the marquee.
The same fucking thing, nigga.
I don't know if it's a marquee or more like just a sign. But I think at the end of the day, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm all the way there for Kelly in that moment because I know how much Carlos loves Portia. Right, wrong, indifferent. He loves Portia. I feel like if he could, you know, spend half of his summer in her ass, he would. And so, I appreciate the way Kelly handled that. Even just sitting there not saying anything. Because we know what it is. We know you're trying to make, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to make Portia more right in this situation because that's your girl. So that means making Shamia look wrong and more fucked up than she actually is. The Go Naked bots were in full force in Carlos' chat. Yeah, because that's where they go. That's where they go to be at. That's where they go to live. Okay, he has fostered an environment for the people that love and adore Portia to an unhealthy level. He has fostered the environment for them to flourish over there. Congratulations to them. They have a space. This is a space where we don't carry on like that about no bitch, because that's weird. All right, let's get into this next clip. Let's see if I can sit through this.
We see K. Michelle unfollow Shamia.
Not talking about it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel caught in the middle because you're friends with both of them?
Not talking about it.
Okay. And I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
I fucking like her. No, bro, it's ballsy. It's ballsy to say what it is and not back down and just be like, and.
When it came to the
I'm gonna have
George
to
and
go watch
Ashley, Angela's neighbors, and whether or not George slept with Shamia, what were your thoughts about all of that and people really wanting Shamia to be seen as a woman that has affairs on Gerald?
Disgusting. It's really disgusting. Like, honestly, it disappoints me with this group of women and, you know, their wives, quote unquote. And I think I've been the person that's been the longest married person within the group, even though I'm not married anymore, but I was married for 11 years. I think it's just disgusting. I think it's disgusting of Angela to speak on someone's marriage and she doesn't like other people to speak on hers. You know, I think if you're hiring a private investigator, you should hire it on yourself. Why are you hiring on other couples and people? I think that's disgusting. I think it's
Yes.
I just think that you looking for someone's downfall within their
Toxic.
marriage is just I don't like it. I think that you want to play this victim of, oh, this person said this last season. Okay, you made up with the person who said that they would sleep with your husband. How does this work out? And then you sit at the head of the table and laughing kiki. Like, come on. Seriously. So you forgive her that fast, but then you're not gonna forgive the person who probably said a little bit of nothing about your marriage? She said she wasn't gonna sleep with him. She just maybe said she didn't know about him. But nobody, I mean, from word on the street is nobody knew about you. But who cares? You know, I just think that it's very unfortunate that you would go that deep. And I think marriage is a beautiful covenant, and you know, we all make mistakes and we all fall short, but I think for you to look for a splinter in someone's marriage is pretty fucking crazy.
Let's watch the next clip, girl. Kelly eating them up.
Were you gagged when Shamia brought up the mothers? Was that your first?
Hold on, wait, not that one. Not that one. Wait, did I watch all of them? Was it only 2? Was there another one? Where's the one you was talking about, Diva? Is that on No Chaser, or is that on like on Carlos' page? Let me see. Oh, hold up. Wait, no. Kelly refuses to comment on K. Michelle. Yeah, this was the one? This was the one, right? Yeah. I like Kelly. I like Kelly. I like that she's standing on it. Because honestly, I really feel like it's the truth. I feel like it's the truth. It's the truth, in my opinion. Watch Carlos. Gag. Child. He just sat there. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? Gags. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Just like you like to be. Okay. We know how much you like to be gags. Okay. So Angela's neighbor, Ashley, has released footage of Angela allegedly coming to her home the night before Shamia's Rum Bum Halloween party. My God, for what? Girl. Why it looked like she was trying to not be observed by the camera when she stopped for a second? Girl, what is going on? Girl, I thought something else was going to happen in the video. Child, what Jamie said? Jamie said, baby, now everybody want to act like Ashley the clout chaser and wants a peach, when it was the peach that brought Ashley and her husband up on the show. Laughing my ass off. Y'all mad at her for responding to the BS, but wasn't mad at Angela for bringing the BS to screen. I know what y'all are, child. Listen, I agree, girl. Angela doing all this so we won't talk about her marriage with Meanie Charles, her daughter not feeling comfortable being gay, in them finances. We were rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. I blame Angela for this foolishness and bringing these folks onto this show. She did it last season and again this season. Because it's against Shamia, y'all, for getting to hold Angela accountable for this BS. If it was Shamia doing it to Ange, other castmates or follower, the internet would be on fire. Not Angelia. Come on, Angelia. Yes, Angelia, bitch. You's a Angelia. You's a liar, Angela. You's a Angelia. That's your name now, bitch. Angelia. Ain't you gonna lie, Angelia, with your lying ass? Girl, we don't need to hear about how Carlos told you to take them hoes with you to go get your titties checked out. We don't need to hear that. Okay. And just let's run. I want to see, what was the preview to next week's episode? Was this it?
You feel like it was a lot of.
Let me find it, y'all. I won't find it.
You're Chi-Town, honey.
3, 2, 1, go.
That's a lot of arm on
Yeah,
Cynthia.
it's a lot of arm. I think you should be in the middle.
Me?
Yeah. Can we just say what portion in the middle?
There was
you
audio?
or
I ain't hear
just need to
nothing.
be?
Okay.
And 3.
Is she too big to be?
Hold up. We'll come back to that. And that's a sneak peek anyway. That's not the trailer. I wanted to see the trailer. Wait, let me go back. Because I ain't hear nothing. Was there audio somewhere else on this, Diva? Because I don't hear nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They ain't got no audio. All right, I wasn't tripping. I was trying to make sure. What's this one? Girl, you still ain't vindicated. We heard it. Wait, y'all heard it? I'm confused. But anyway. Let me see.
Hey girl, what we doing, y'all? Girl, what we doing?
Now, why would you post that without the audio?
Hey girl, what we doing, y'all?
I'm sorry. What we doing, y'all, speaks volumes. Oh my God. There wasn't any audio on that other one, y'all. There's audio on this one, though. Oh my God. What are we doing? Not what we doing. Not what we doing. Not what's the plot. Not what's the scheme. Not what we doing. Oh, Lord. It's a plot and a scheme. I'm going to tell you this shit. It is a plot. These hoes running around like a bunch of thoughts. Thought.
How you doing?
She says, oh.
I wanted to see next week's episode.
Love the entrance. But how about I get to see the inside?
I want to see that. I guess they don't have that up here yet. They may not have that up here yet, girl. What we doing? Hey, y'all. What we talking about on the show tomorrow? Let me know. Y'all, that is crazy. That is crazy. That's hilarious, though. Okay, hold up, child. Shamia know she look good. I do be feeling like y'all be hating a little bit on the fact that Shamia big fine and shit. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I don't trust y'all not to be haters. I don't trust you hoes not to be haters. Hold up. I'm trying. Angela went out like a sucker. Listen, a motherfucking sucker MC out this bitch. She's a sucker MC. All right, hold up. I'm trying to get to the end. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that shit up on my phone because I want to see the end of, because I don't feel like looking for this shit on social media. I know I can just pull up the episode on my phone. Did y'all like the video? Did y'all tip me? Because only the diva gave me a super chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be the content creators that support you. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all support me too. I'm just saying. Okay, listen. A content creator gonna know, girl. Let me send you this little $10, okay? Thank you, girl. Okay, listen. You know you gotta support the people. You know, support the people. Are y'all following the diva in the comments? Do y'all follow Erica De Niro? Girl, y'all should. Okay, I'm pulling it up because I won't see.
Y'all all have fun.
Next
What happened?
time on the season finale of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Where we stand.
Here's the thing. Mike,
Dang, there's some love going on over there.
Oh my God, that bitch remind me of my ex. Anyway, yeah, nah. I could hear it in her tone. She already know Portia ain't fucking with that nigga like that. Oh yeah, you in love with son? Yeah, y'all about to get engaged. Y'all about to run away together. Yeah, you gonna have a baby for him? Yeah, that's what y'all gonna do. Yeah, all right. Don't forget to invite me to the wedding. You heard me? Bitches will do that. Bitches will run that right quick on you, bitch. Make sure. Okay? Listen, play with you just a little bit.
O'clock hearing. How do you feel about seeing your ex-husband? You just want to get over with.
You tried to imply that I knew that man.
Well, you did. You DM'd him. You said, hey, hey.
Child, not her. Girl, Fumarooski. Okay, not you trying to lesbian relationship a bitch and falling all over the floor. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Do you hear me, Drew? You had it coming. You had it coming. You had it coming all along. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. Listen, I'm not for everybody. She ain't for everybody, okay? Y'all saw this? The Lunsfords unfollowed each other. God, I hope they broke up. I hope they broke up. And that's because I believe that this was a miserable relationship. I believe that's a miserable little man. And that was a patriarchy princess that didn't know any better. And all it takes is for you to get exactly what you wanted and didn't realize how it was going to stress you the fuck out, because y'all don't be listening when we tell y'all that these niggas is always trying to find ways to control and demean and subjugate your fuck ass. You think it's a privilege to be subjugated by a nigga, right? I'm submitting my husband. Right? And all it takes is for you to be there for a little while. And then eventually they going to tire you the fuck out because they're miserable. And a part of them being miserable is picking at you. They're going to pick at you, girl. Okay? They're going to pick at you, girl. Oh, thank you, Yazzie. Thanks for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Brandon. Just a little something to remind who's to support. I appreciate you, love. Thank you. Girl, I'm glad these people broke up. I'm sorry. I know, listen, that's not very old school of me. The old school part of me feels like, you don't say that because it seems like you don't want people to be married. But I feel like most people's marriages are bullshitty. So, yeah, I guess I'm saying, yeah, no. I did not want her to be in this relationship with this man. I feel like this man, the way he treated and talked to quiet was enough for him to need to be by himself until he changed. This is a type of man that needs to go and be alone until his loneliness makes him a better person or until he dies. Okay? You got to miss them like in a Color Purple book. Now, in the book, okay? In the book, you got to leave niggas alone to basically die or something like that. And then their guilt and the shame eventually turns them into being introspective, on top of the fact that they stop creating so much testosterone that makes it hard for them to not be an asshole. So when they get older and everybody done left them because they treat everybody like shit, so everybody be like, fuck you, right? Then after a while of being alone and not having nobody around to direct their hatred onto, they eventually might do like Mr. from The Color Purple and try to change and shit, right? And then when they change, they show it. They don't just talk. They just be it. They calmly just be somewhere, being a better person, doing nice shit and not looking for nothing in return. And then some woman is like, I see you, nigga. And it's like, somebody to love your old fuck ass before you die. That's the happy story of that. The regular story is that you niggas stay in your indignation until you die. And you never experience what it's like to really be able to really be loved by anybody, because you don't even love yourself. That's another reason why I'm glad he ain't got no fucking child, because this is one of the men that I think I can see self-loathing on. Like, I think he's been made to not like himself. And him not liking himself makes him like an annoying person and a terrible person to be in a relationship with. This is just what I feel when I look at the nigga, okay? There's a self-loathing. That self-loathing is projected out onto the partner, okay? That's what she's there for, to be a projection of how terrible he feels about himself. And that won't really change just because you give him pussy and a baby and all of that. So that's the reason why I really, really am glad that didn't happen, because men like that project all of that shit onto children too. right? These standards that they feel like they have to hold themselves to, which are standards that are kind of like based in things they've heard about themselves from their parents, like, oh, you too sensitive, or, you know, you're not doing this right. They will verbally beat up on children, shit that's really their own hangups, and then create that same type of self-hatred within children. So that's a reason why I don't feel like he should be a parent, because I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like people should, like, I don't know, love themselves before they have children. Because if they don't love themselves, if they don't like who they are, they will project that shit onto children. They will. And so, yeah. For real, I hate self-loathing men. Low self-esteem women can be annoying, but they usually harming themselves unless they got children. Yeah, usually. But yeah, they broke up, girl. Her husband, girl. Maybe she got some sense. Maybe she'll come back on a reality show and tell us what happened. Cause I want to know. Cause I don't like that nigga. I don't. It's not all niggas, but it's that nigga. I don't like him. Nope. And he's a therapist. Dangerous work. You mean a nigga that don't love himself giving you advice on what to do in your inner world? Nope. Don't like it. Why would you choose that job? You don't even know how to be introspective. Why would you get a job where you have conversations with people so that they can be introspective? This is what Cheyenne Bryant taught me. Cheyenne Bryant taught me that some people become therapists so that they have an opportunity to make themselves feel better about themselves in comparison to another person, which I think is one of the most fucked up reasons that you could ever decide to go into therapy. And that's what I feel like Cheyenne Bryant does. You sit down and talk to women, listen to whatever their issues and problems are, and then spend the rest of the time comparing yourself to them. You know, I did it like this. This is how you're supposed to do it. I did it like this. That's not how therapists are supposed to be. Okay. You want to be a fucking commentator. You want to give just regular ass advice and all of that. Yeah. But as a therapist, no, you are not supposed to be superimposing your life onto people. That's not what you're supposed to do. Okay. And I feel like people like him, people like Cheyenne Bryant, they were, you know, that weird ass bitch who, you know, the other one we was talking about at the beginning of live, the shit that they come up with and will pass on to other people be their own bullshit. And because they don't have any like real moral compass, they pretend to, because they have a look that makes you think they have morals, because y'all think morals can have a look. But they really, you know, they don't have any real like care for other people for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It probably don't make sense to somebody. It makes sense in my head. Anyway, thank you, J. Ray, for the super chat. Bondi, did you see Alex vid on Angela's past scams? I did not. But before I get out of here, we're going to go see it. The J. Kofi, thank you so much, love. Love your content. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Okay, let's go see what Alex said right quick. Y'all, I was so happy my friend got his channel back, child. It's once you have lost your channel for no fucking reason on social media and you make money from it, girl, the way your life will be flashing before your eyes every time you get on YouTube in the morning to make sure that your channel's still there. Okay, anybody losing their channel is very like triggering for me. Okay, hold up. So I'm glad he got that back. Let me see. Not Sissy Smolier's clapback. What is it titled? He got a bunch of ones up here. I don't see nothing recent. You know, that say Angela on it. That seems devastating. The anxiety. Alex is hilarious. These people chose careers for working sake, but not for any actual purpose or intention in mind. Yeah, and I think I don't think that's a field that anybody should go in without like actual care for people. I'm actually annoyed that you go into things just so that you can make yourself feel better about yourself by downing other people low key in such a vulnerable position. Let's see. Cheyenne Bryant, the importance of credentials while actively ignoring the need for credentials. Alex gonna be on her ass like white on rice. I'm trying to find a video. Let's see.
Nick Fuentes said white people.
Not that one.
Tia Clap.
Not that one.
What was your research question? What? I'm embarrassed for you. You perpetrated that fraud for 7 years.
Is
Went
this
on
it?
Basketball Wives. That should have alerted everybody then. But all right, Heifer. I'd wish you luck, but you'll just take it and say it's yours, like your doctorate degree.
Oh no, that's not her. They talking about Cheyenne.
You're 20 years in.
So he didn't put it on Instagram.
Wait,
It's on
Ian,
his YouTube. Okay, y'all gotta send me stuff like that. I ain't got time to be going and look for everything everywhere. But y'all follow Alex. He's hilarious. Okay. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here and go get my life together. I love you guys. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Okay. I hope y'all are well. All right. Yeah, he got it back though. He got it back. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good day. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.